What do you say we get started?
Yeah.
I did that to see if I remembered anybody's names. I think I remembered most of them. Not all of them. What's that? No, that's not. So you are, that's Javier, right?
Yeah. No, that's
Fabian, you're Javier. That's close. At least I got the name. See if I can get him in the right person before tomorrow. How's that? And you guys have been in my front yard and played at my house, and I still can't remember your names. Isn't that a shame? Of course, I can't remember my own kids' names. So, all right. If you guys are ready, I guess I'm ready. I've delayed long enough. It's about time for me to get started. We're back on track now. Remember, I'm a conductor. I'm supposed to keep everything on time. There's not a lot of people here. I think there's more today than there were yesterday. Same? Is it the same?
No.
I thought we had one more.
Yeah.
So,
Two more.
2 more. Oh, and this group. Yeah, this group got bigger. The little group got smaller, and this group got bigger. So, all right. You guys remember anything we learned yesterday? How many parts of how many rails does a train track have? How about you? 2. That's right.
66.
66 books. You remember that too? How many parts are there to the Bible? 2. All right, Braden remembers that much. All right. Who is like the ties on a railroad track? The railroad ties, the round parts. Holds everything together, keeps it going straight. You remember? Kobe? Who is like that? Who holds everything up? Who keeps everything straight?
Jesus.
Well, let Kobe answer.
God.
Well, the ties do, but who's like the ties? Who's the foundation? Who gives the train track strength and makes sure it gets where it needs to
The
go?
whales, God.
Almost. Jesus, that's right. So, the tracks show the train what? They show the train which way to go. You guys remember that? So what is a lot like the railroad tracks in our lives? What shows us the right way to go?
Straight.
Right? The Bible. That's right. So, the Bible is like a railroad tracks. It's got 2 big parts, the 2 rails. They're always going straight. They're tied together by Jesus Christ. The New Testament and the Old Testament are tied together by Jesus Christ. The train tracks show the train which way to go. Hold it up. Keep it going straight, just like the Bible holds us up, keeps us straight, narrow, all those other good things. Shows us which way it is, where to go, right? So, you're wandering around and you find a set of railroad tracks. You start following those railroad tracks. What's the first thing of any importance you're going to find on those tracks? Think you find a train? Well, how about before we find a train, how about we find a place to get on the train? You find a train out in the middle of nowhere, it's going to be moving probably fast. You won't be able to get on it. You're going to want to get on the train, aren't you?
I can go on the Polar Express.
The Polar Express?
Polar
Oh,
Express.
I think we got a better train than the Polar Express.
So what?
And we don't have to worry about caribou. So,
Oh,
where would be the place that we would get on a
I
train?
want the fake one.
A fake one. Where do you guys think?
Subway.
Huh? Where do you think we would get on the train at?
Underground.
Underground. You guys are still stuck on the subway. Those are little baby trains. I'm talking about big trains. It's called a station. The train is going to pull into a station, and that's where we get on the train at. Do you know what our station is going to be called?
Train station.
We're going to call our station Salvation Station. This is where we get on the train. That's what we're going to talk about tonight, is salvation and how we get onto this train. Now, the Bible is going to lead us in the right direction, and the first place the Bible is going to lead us is to what we call salvation. Now, does anybody remember the verse, the key verse, the important verse I read last night? John, the 14th chapter and the 6th verse. Jesus said, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. We're going to look at it as being the truth tonight, okay? So last night we looked at the way, like the railroad tracks, leads us in the right way. The Bible leads us in the right way. The Bible is all about Jesus. And tonight we're going to be at Salvation Station. This is where we get down to the truth of the matter. He said, I am the truth. We've got to believe that all the things the Bible says about Jesus is the truth. We got to believe that we are in trouble, and without Him, we're in real trouble. But with Him, He can get us out of trouble. Do you know that? But we have to do that, and we're going to call that place Salvation Station. That's where we get on the train, okay? So, not Fabian. You had your hand up. And, what's your name again? Javier. There we go. Were you going to ask me a question? No? Okay. All right. So, we're going to look at Salvation Station. So the station is where you get on the train at. Salvation is where you start your ride. You may find a set of railroad tracks, and you may kick rocks down the road, and you may follow it for a while, but you can't get on the train unless you get to the station. The station is a very important place. The station is a place where you're going to find some things that are very important to getting on the train. One thing you're going to find is a schedule. I'm a conductor, aren't I? Is that what I'm supposed to be? Is that what my hat says, conductor? Or which was it say? Yes, it says conductor, that way. It says conductor, doesn't it? You know what every conductor carried? It's the most important thing they had on. A watch. They usually had it tied where they could get it out real quick. And they would open it up and they'd look at it. They would compare it to the one at the station. There's always one at the station. There's always one on the conductor. And he made sure that the train got there on time. He made sure the train left on time. Now, it's very important. If you're going to get on the train that we're talking about, you've got to be there on time. And you got to get there while it's there. Because if it leaves without you, it's going to be awful hard to get on it, isn't it? It's going to leave you behind.
Oh, get on a different train?
A different train? No, there's only one of these trains. One train, or one train only.
It's yours.
Oh, it's not my train. It's Jesus' train. Remember the Sunlight Express? The Truth Train, we called it yesterday? There's only one of them, and you have to make sure you get on the right ones. There's a lot of subways out there. Little baby trains that just take you around town, but don't get you anywhere. But we're talking about a real train. And this train's going to get us all the way to heaven if we get on the right one. All right?
Baby train.
Oh, subways are baby trains. Yes, they are. They're little bitty trains. They go forward and backward. They're so little they go underground.
They're faster.
So, one thing you're going to find at the station is a schedule. It's going to tell you what time the train's going to be there and what time it takes off. There's going to be a conductor there. He's going to be standing by that train. He's going to tell you when it's time to go. He's going to yell out. You guys know he's going to yell? All aboard! He's going to yell that. So everybody's in the station. If that's their train, they know it's time to get on. Now, the conductor is just somebody that works for the train. All right? So he's calling. He's telling people, it's time to get on the train. We're going to talk about people that work on the train tomorrow. But tonight, you got to know that there's a time that the train leaves. There's a time that it gets there. There's a schedule. You'll find it at the station. The Bible tells us that at the fullness of time, means when the time was right, God sent His Son into the world. And it tells us of another time, when the time is right, when it's right on time, He's going to send His Son again. And we've got to make sure that we're on the train when that time comes. Now, what do you think is going to be that schedule? The Bible showed us the right way. The Bible shows us the right time, too. It tells us what is the right time. Okay? So, Javier, do you have a question? He has a watch. That's right. He would make a good conductor. No, that means it's an old watch, too.
It's an old watch.
It's an old watch. And it keeps good time?
It keeps good time.
You got to compare it to another clock every now and then? That's what the conductors did. Every time they got into a station, they looked at their watch, they looked up at the big clock, and they made sure they matched. He didn't want anybody getting left behind because of mismatching clocks, but he made sure everything kept on time. But he's not the one that made the schedule. Somebody else made the schedule. And that's right, God makes the schedule. And we have to make sure that we get on the train at the right time. Now, you know what? There is something missing in here. I was supposed to have something to give you guys tonight. And it was a ticket. I wonder where those tickets went. Because we made up a bunch of tickets for you guys to have. You want to see if you can find those tickets? They're not in here. I was supposed to give them to you when you came in the door, but you know what? We all came in together, so I didn't get to catch you at the door. Yes?
Oh, God.
That's right, God makes everything. Now, at the station, you're going to get a ticket. How much does your ticket cost? How much is the ticket going to cost you?
$28.
$28 actually for Amtrak. That's probably not too far off. But what's it going to cost to get on God's train? $60?
20. 0.
It's going to cost us 0.
Yeah.
Do you know why it cost us 0? Because
Because
God paid for it.
God's nice.
Do you know how God paid for it? He gave His Son for it. It cost Him His Son. Jesus Christ is the one that paid the price. He did it. He paid the price so that we could all have a ticket. Now, if somebody gave you a free ticket, what do you do with it? You should use it to get on the train. That's right. You know, there's a lot of people that get a free ticket and they just won't believe that it's real and they won't get on the train. How do we get on God's train? It's by faith. God's already gave us a ticket. We don't have to see the ticket. We're told in the Bible that we can get on this train. When God calls us to get on the train, and it's time for us to get on the train, all we have to do is get on the train because God already paid for the ticket. And I hope the tickets show up here in a minute. But we have been given the tickets. It's already been bought. It's been paid for. It's free to us. All we have to do is believe it. That ticket's going to let us on that train. Now, this train is going to be spectacular. It's going to be amazing. And it's going to be one of those things, you're going to look at this ticket and you're going to say, I didn't pay anything for my ticket. There's no way they'll let me on this train. I didn't pay anything. But the Bible tells us all we have to do is believe. It's by faith. And that's how things work at Salvation Station. If we believe, the Bible will lead us to that train track, or on the train tracks, it'll lead us to the station. When we get to the station, we're going to see that all the times are just right. There's going to be people that are there calling out, hey, it's time to get on the train. The train's going to be there right on time, and it's going to leave right on time. And you're going to have in your hand a ticket that has been paid for already. So all you got to do is get on the train. If you believe all that. Jesus said, I am the way, I am the truth. Do you guys believe that Jesus Christ was a real person?
Yes.
I believe He was. I don't just believe that He was, I believe that He is. Do you know He lived 2,000 years ago?
Yes. No.
Do you know He lived 6,000 years ago?
No. I thought he lived 9,000.
He lived 9,000 years ago.
I said he lived 10,000.
Did you know He lived 10,000 years ago?
That's what it is.
Jesus Christ did. Here comes our tickets. Oh, I thought we were waiting? Okay. Here's your tickets. Already paid for. You guys keep those. Don't lose them. All right? I don't want anybody to lose their ticket. There's some important information written on the back.
Is there a real train there? Can we see it up?
Uh-huh.
Can we see it up?
Hang it up. You can hang it up. But there's your ticket. Now that ticket's like that train up there. It's not the real ticket.
I can't read all of that.
You can't. Well, you should have somebody read it to you. Now, so God already paid for the ticket. We follow the tracks and it gets us to the station. There's the train. It's waiting for us. But it's not going to wait forever. The schedule said there's a time it's got to leave. We have got to believe that that ticket's going to get us on there. Now, do you guys remember how God paid for the ticket? I just told you a minute ago. By Jesus Christ. By giving His only Son. His Son is the one that paid for it. Now, we were just going through how old is Jesus Christ. How old is God? He's been around forever. You know how long He's going to last? How long He's going to live?
So everyone lives.
Forever. He's going to live forever. Now, there was a time about 2,000 years ago that God became a man for a little time. You know how long He lived on earth? About 33 years. You know how old I am? 36. So I'm older than Jesus was when Jesus died.
My dad's older than me, 39.
Yeah? Yeah, I've heard a few people tell me how old their parents are. And I don't know if their parents were like that. Especially the moms. Your dad might not mind so much. So, Jesus came that He could buy your ticket, and He paid for it by giving up His own life. Okay? So this is what's the most important part, is to know that your ticket has already been paid for, that you don't have to pay anything for you. Okay? So you got your ticket. Are there going to be enough seats on the train for you? How many seats are on this train?
A lot.
A lot?
Let me get 100.
There's going to be just enough. The train is big enough for everybody that believes. Matter of fact, the train, there's been enough tickets paid for everybody in the world. This train's big enough for everybody. But there's going to be a lot of people that are going to hold that ticket in their hand and they're going to say, I don't believe it. It's too good to be true. Or I would rather just walk down the tracks. Or maybe I'll go find my own train. Some people think they're going to build their own train. But this train is special. And this train is big enough to accommodate everybody. But not everybody's going to get on it. Only those that believe.
I believe.
You believe?
I believe.
That's good.
I believe.
That's good. You keep believing. Because there's going to come a time when God's going to talk to your heart and He's going to say, all aboard? And that's when you're going to have to believe. Okay? Because you're going to have to get on that train. So, the train's big enough for everybody. If everybody believed and everybody got on it, then it would be big enough for everybody. There's something else special about the train. What's this train got on the front of it? I'm not talking about we call it a cow catcher on the front. I'm not talking about that. What else is on the front of that train? You guys see anything else on the front of that train? Every train has got something on the front of it.
Light.
It's got a light on the front of it. Well, why is that important?
So it doesn't drive up the track.
So it doesn't drive up the tracks?
No.
Now, if you're on it,
So it knows where it's going.
well, if you're stuck on a set of railroad tracks, you can't turn to get off of it.
You can see.
What good is it to see what's out in front of you?
I saw someone crash a train.
You think somebody can crash your train?
I saw
No, it is true. That light is out there so that the man that is driving it may see out in front of him. He may see hazards that are coming, that he may warn people behind him if he needs to, that he can give that train more throttle. He can get off the throttle if he needs to, if he needs to be patient. If there's any dangers, he can see what's up ahead. But there's another very important reason for that light on the front. Imagine you walked into one end of a tunnel. It was dark in there. You think you'd want to know if a train was coming?
You see a light.
You would see a light. Especially some of these electric trains nowadays that don't make a whole lot of noise, you'll still see their light. So you get in there, that light, not only does it shine out in front of it, so that the man that's driving it is able to see, so that he can warn everybody inside, and he can avoid dangers, he can slow down, he can speed up, it'll tell him what's out in front of him. That's very important, but it's also very important that other people can see it coming. Now, why do we want to know what's coming?
The light in the inside of the train.
Well, what if you're sitting there on that, you got to the station, and you're wondering about if this train was even real or not? You get to see it coming. You get to know it's coming because of that light. 2 Corinthians, he talks about a bright light. Paul wrote a letter to a church in a city called Corinth. And he talked about a brilliant light, a bright light, a beautiful light. You know what that light was? It's called the gospel. The gospel is God's word. The gospel is what God has said about His Son. It is also what calls us. It tells us the train's coming. It's also there to show us what's out ahead, that we can be aware of any dangers and any troubles that may be coming. But that light's very important. If you ever drive by a train, see if you see a light turned off. You'll never see the light turned off. Now, sometimes the engines are facing the wrong way. Sometimes they put engines on the back of the trains to help push it. They'll turn that light down, but they won't turn it off. Yep, there's engines in the front, sometimes there's engines in the back, but the light is always on. The glorious light of the gospel is always on. All the time. Even when the sun's up, that light's on. In the middle of the night, that light's on. That light is always on those trains. And it's got a very important job. Matter of fact, I think it's got two very important jobs.
Can it turn off?
Huh?
Can it turn off?
Oh, it probably can turn off.
When the
on a real train, but the light of the gospel cannot be turned off. People try to hide it, but they can't turn it off. Alexis, you got a question? You got something to say?
What happens if it's broken?
Oh, that's the wonderful thing about this light on the truth train. It doesn't break. It's going to work all the time. You can count on it. You can trust it. It's always going to be on. There's never going to be anything that it doesn't see out ahead of it. And there's never going to come a time when that train's nearby that you won't be able to know that it's coming. All right? So, Brother Doyle, you remember what time we're supposed to get out of here? 50? 6:50?
Smack time.
Ooh, does that sound good? Is that where you guys are going next?
6:50.
Okay, good. I don't want to go over. I don't want to keep you guys away from snacks. So I'm trying to hurry because I thought we were running late after asking everybody what they did all day. So, wait a minute. You guys are going to crafts, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. You guys do need crafts. Okay, so let's recap. Let's put everything back in line. So we got the train tracks, the Bible. It's going to lead us to a station. What do we find at a station? There's a schedule. Everything's right on time. The conductor, he comes with the train. And tomorrow we're going to learn about some people that are on the train. There's some people that just ride the train. There's some people that are working on the train. There's some people that are on the train to help those people that are just sitting there.
There's people that help.
There's a conductor. There's people that stand there and help you take your baggage and make sure that it's they help you carry it. We're going to talk about all these people tomorrow.
They ask them questions.
There's some people there that are ready to answer questions. And then most of the people are just there to do what you're doing. Sit, go along for the ride. They sit on the train and they wait for it to get to where it's going. You guys got any guesses where it's going?
Where the tracks go.
That's right, it's going where the tracks go. Do you know where the tracks are going to lead this train? Alexis, do you know where our train's going? Oh, the song we sang said it's going to a mansion. Do you guys know where that mansion is? Do you know, Cole? Oh, Alexis, you know? That's right, this train's going to take us all the way to heaven. Some people on that train are going to work till it gets there. Some people are just going to be along for the ride till it gets there. That train's going to be, I won't say full, but there's going to be a lot of people on that train, okay? Who paid for your ticket?
Jesus Christ.
God paid for the ticket. What did He pay for? His Son. You know some people thought His Son was worth? 30 pieces of silver.
What?
Some people thought that's all He was worth. He's worth a lot more than that to me.
9 million.
9 million? He's worth a lot more than that to
9
me.
million diamonds. 200.
He's worth more than all the world.
500. 9 million gold.
More than that. All the world. He's worth more than all the world. You can't put a dollar price on how much He's worth.
He was
But He paid the price so everybody can have a ticket. Who's everybody? Who doesn't get a ticket? That's right. Nobody doesn't get a ticket. Can you get on the train without a ticket? No. You have to have a ticket. So if everybody's got a ticket, why wouldn't they get on the train? Do you know, Colton? Why wouldn't you get on the train if you had a ticket? Because you just don't believe that ticket's worth anything? Somebody gave it to you for free? Maybe you don't believe it has been paid for. Some people don't believe it's been paid for. Some people think they have to go buy their own ticket. Worth a try? Not worth a try. I would rather take the one that's given to me, it's already paid for. Not just because I'm cheap and I don't want to pay for anything, because it's the only ticket that'll let me on that train. Colton? Yep, the conductor sometimes will close the door. Sometimes he puts a step down to help people up into the train. So we'll talk about all those people tomorrow. And that train's going to go on a special trip.
Really special.
Really special. All the way to God. So now you already know the answer to tomorrow. But it's got to go through a lot Do you think the train's going to lose anybody? Think anybody will fall off the train as it travels? Nope. Nobody will fall off the train. Do you think it'll keep us safe? You think it'll get us there?
Yes.
You think it'll be right on time when it gets there?
Yes.
Absolutely it will be. All right. That is just about everything I've got for your lesson tonight. You guys got any questions?
No.
No. Are you guys excited about doing crafts? You know what the craft is?
I do.
You know what the craft is?
Paint.
Paint.
We're painting today.
You get to take on paint?